Hi, Gemini. Well, we have a lot of Pisces energy going on right now. And I kept hearing just north and... Okay, death card. This lighting. If there are any Geminis that do lighting, I'll put it out there in another video. Send me a setup and I will... free advertisement all the way home. Let me scoot up, maybe. Maybe? Oh, I'm so sorry. A little bit better, I guess. So, anywho. Death card falling out. Well, that's okay for now. I mean, anything could be ending. Because with death, there's always, you know, something comes from death. Ashes to ashes. It rises out of ashes. Let's see. The song is called, it's on Pandora, and it's called The Man by the Killers. Maybe that means something for somebody. Seven of Wands. Again, the lighting, y'all. Help. But I'll point the camera down. It's a little better that way. Okay. King of Swords. Okay. Are you the man? Eight of Swords. Says you can't bring me down. That's what I just heard. I work with music a lot. And I take my time to meditate with each sign before I start to upload or do any spreads. So, and I just let them fall out. Relax a little. Wish I could relax more, but you guys won't see me if I completely rest. The Fool. I don't know what's gotten on that. Who knows? Something on the bottom. It's like right between the two O's, like a mark. Don't know. We'll let a couple more fall out for you, Gemini. The Star card. There's that 8 because it says 17 at the top. Queen of Swords. Okay, they are just like, hello. Queen of Swords and the Knight of Swords in reverse. I'm going to stop there. At the bottom of the deck is the Tower. Like I said, I'll point the camera down, Gemini. But when I was meditating, I felt that thing you do is what I kept hearing. That thing you do. That thing Gemini does. That could resonate, you know, with somebody in a specific way. But I think what I felt was more of the communication. And with Mercury and Venus in Pisces, I mean, you guys are intelligent. And I believe that Pisces is the intelligence between Scorpio and Cancer. Like, they're the ones that keep us together and grounded. Alright, by myself. Hold on a second. I'm not scared. I'm just like, is that someone or is that something? So anyway, speaking of Pisces energy, I think there's a lot of that going on. But I think you're capable of communication naturally. But the thoughts of yourself is what I'm feeling. It's like you're communicating with all of them. Like they're all sitting at your kitchen table and you're talking to all of them. They've all got their own plate. And I've heard that saying before, but it really kept coming up while I was, you know, shuffling and talking about your sign with whatever I talk with, whatever listens. I don't call it anything, really. Don't have a name for it. God. So, anyway, I'm going to point the camera down. Please hit like, subscribe, and please comment below. I have Instagram and Facebook for Hazel's House also. So, I do a little bit of stuff on there, but I'm really trying to concentrate on you guys. Point the camera down, and I'll be right back. I'm back, Gemini, and yeah, wow. Like, I don't even know what to say. First off, I just want to start by saying when I paused the video, I I stopped for a while and study in depth each card. You know, even if I think I know it, I still read about it somewhere, somehow, just because I think that being honest about what I'm getting with the cards is the only way to be able to share it honestly with you. So I don't try to interpret it necessarily all me. I'm just the conduit of the meaning. So the death card, I'm just going to get into it. So bear with me and give it a chance before anybody freaks out. And that's the whole spread, not just the death card. Came out first. The veil or mask of life is perpetuated in change, transformation, and passage from lower to higher. This card is looked at as a reaping skeleton, but the whole world and spirit is behind it. Now that's on the original deck. And this card, what I saw really was him putting that little skeleton that sits on top. It's like a little, like an old skull. Like putting it in front of his face, like, and then taking it off, like, then back on, then back off, then back on, then back off. Like, removing it and then putting it in front, removing it, putting it in front. The Seven of Wands came out next, and I think this is you rising from these ashes, like grabbing the wand. But you could also feel like you're, like, under attack. But I think you're using this experience in this Aries season, like the spring-like, new, like the beginning of the end, becoming powerful of the life and death with this King of Swords. Because whatsoever arises out of the idea of judgment, whatever this judgment is with this death card. Okay, so do you feel like you are being judged? Do you have, like, court coming up? You know, you can comment below and keep it discreet. You know, believe me, I don't want to know about everybody's business to use it against them. It's more just to communicate and get to know you better. But because the Eight of Swords could be conflict. It could also mean sickness. Or like you're arguing with the people at your table, like the conflicting thoughts. Or like a lawyer sitting across from you with this, like, Queen of Swords, and yeah, we'll get to that. But then what I wrote down, some more stuff, but I want to skip this and get right to the Fool, because I'm feeling it even more now that I'm reading over it. The edge which opens death has no terror, because if you were to jump, the angels would catch you. Like, that's this feeling that that's what's going on. Or, you know, you've been that Fool-like spirit and maybe got into some trouble. Maybe wrong place, wrong time kind of thing. But which it means to me, I think it means, like, be honest, because with the Star card, the person is in a vulnerable state and able to receive water of life freely with the spirit. Like, the stars have 8 rays surrounded by 7 smaller stars, and then the Seven of Wands is right around it. I think these could represent people, or events, places, things. And I always say that because it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with anybody else, except in this read it just seems like law, court, death, funeral, something, which I'll get into. Like I said, don't freak out too quick. So but I think if you are honest and that you can help others, like with sharing. Sorry, my cat was, like, chewing on my plant. But I think you can help others with sharing. With the star card, you could even save people's lives. Like, not maybe just like a livelihood or something that they're struggling with. But I think this is an actual life, if not many. I mean, one is good enough, right? One life would be amazing. But it's like taking a lot of honesty and things you're not, like, it feels like you don't want to share them. Like, you might be, like, at night, drinking before bed or something. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, things like instead of giving and receiving, you're drowning. Like, that's what I feel, and it may not look like it, but this Eight of Swords says a lot with this death. Okay, so the Queen of Swords, there will be no mercy if you're not honest. The Knight, because the Knight of Swords is kindness and bravery and are needed. Because there's I just see no mercy if there's no honesty. And that's just the way it goes with everything. Because this death card falling out first, like they're telling, it's like, if you're not honest, there will be a fatality if the star card is not embodied. Like an actual fatality. That's what I mean by saving somebody's life. I thought about stopping and redoing this because it's so deep. I've never done that before. And I thought, well, why would you do that? Like, you need to be honest, because you're suggesting to them that honesty will save someone's life. So why would you take that from them? Okay, so this Tower card falls out. When it goes with this Eight of Swords and this Death card, and really the the Knight of Swords can represent death. But I do see a fatality with this falling out first, because it's like I felt tightness in my ribs when I went from, from Eight of Swords to here. Like, I was watching and it was like Knight of Swords, then Eight of Swords, like that 8, death and rebirth, and then bam, the Tower. Like, there's so much death and rebirth in this. The star card, 17, it equals 8. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's all over. Anyway, so, but I felt this tightness in my ribs, and this Tower can represent the materialization of spiritual world, like of the spiritual world. It can also mean stuff like the most comprehensive way, the old truth. And it says, in one of this thing I read about it, it said, where did I write it? Except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that built it. Like, being concerned that you are going to lose if it's this court thing. I don't know, there's a lot there. This is probably the most association with beginning and ending of any spread I've ever done. And I mean, I don't just do YouTube, like I do, people around me and, my physical life, my environment. Not in, not in my house, things like that, but like I do these in my house for you guys. I don't know why I just went there and said that, but my house, I just keep hearing my house. Maybe it's just Hazel's house. I'm gonna really keep an eye on you guys, especially when I do this reading next, because being at 0 up with this full, I don't know, it just seems like, just be careful with what you are going into court with, especially if you feel like you have to be dishonest, because I just don't think that'll be good. I just don't think that'll work out, because there's so much, like, Judgment Day feelings here. And there's that 16, that equals 7, that's 7 of Wands. I always pay attention to numbers. There's that 8 of Pentacles. There's that 8 again. Yeah, 4 of Swords. you might want to rethink what you're going into this with. So please let me know how this resonates, Gemini. Thank you so much for your energy. I know it seems kind of dark and twisted, but this is part of life, you know, and it's rough sometimes. So just please don't kill the messenger. And like I said, feel free to comment. Like, as long as you're nice, please do. So I'll talk to you soon, Gemini. Like I said, I'll keep an eye on you and really get this figured out with you if you help me by commenting and sharing. Talk to you soon. Bye.